Well, Nvidia is not the only AI play on Wall Street, of course, as the trade broadens out to include data centers, energy, and much more. Joining us now, Joe Tigay, Rational Equity Armor Fund Portfolio Manager. Joe, great to speak with you here. I'm curious, we are looking to Nvidia earnings here, and the market is widely anticipating this stock's results, but which stock within the AI space do you anticipate moving most directly off the back of Nvidia earnings?
Yeah, I guess it depends on exactly how they report it and what parts of their company are doing well or poorly. If we're just talking about more the need for more data centers, like the lack of supply of these data centers, then there are a few names that will do quite well. I'm thinking Broadcom is going to be a big part of that build out too. So yeah, there's plenty of other names in this space, not just Nvidia, that are going to live and die in this. One of the auxiliary companies to Nvidia is Nebius. They are buying a lot of the big Blackwell boxes that are making these hyperscale data centers. So they potentially could move depending on what we learned about how many are sold. So it's going to be very interesting to see their response to the result too. But yeah, it's fascinating to see. And in the energy space, I'm actually watching CEG. It's a company that's looking to restore some nuclear power plants, looking to get into more nuclear power play, because there is a big auxiliary play here next to the data centers. Is they're going to take a lot of energy, so there's going to be a need to supply that power. So there's certainly just a wider aspect to push us forward. It really just goes to the bigger picture that, for the past couple of years, this market has just been driven by this tech recovery, this tech cycle, this tech boom has really lifted a lot of these ships. There's a lot more that's going to be lifted up by all these chip sales.
Yeah, you mentioned the data center component as well to all of this, and data center construction contributing 1 percentage point to GDP growth, as I was looking through Torsten Slok, Apollo chief economist's note this morning here. As you're talking about some of the other plays that are non-NVIDIA, but still very much beneficiaries of the broader kind of AI thrust that we've seen and the hyperscaling, one of the other areas that investors have been trying to look at is the cloud services providers and what the recurring revenue run rate could look like because of all of the investment that's going to be coming forward, but also some of the services that are going to be regularly needed to be paid for as well. How are you identifying that part of this trade?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think Google's planting their flag in that too. They want to have a stick of that recurring revenue because they want to have, got the Gemini Ultra, Gemini Plus, and I think their report last week really got the market excited, just kind of showing like what the possibility are. Even with the economic headwinds we've seen this year, the uncertainty with tariffs, the race for AI leadership is just getting bigger and bigger. It's just expanding. So this is proving to be, it's not discretionary spending. These companies aren't just having some fun with this. This is like an imperative for their business future. Absolutely. So the underlying urgent demand for NVIDIA chips is out there. And you're making a great point. This recurring revenue, this could finally be where this AI is starting to make these big Mag 7s some profit. I think Google with this Plus and Ultra out there, I think that's a key test case for that, because they really are kind of, I think they're in the lead right now. They were behind ChatGPT for me. Like, it was a stumble out of the starting gate for Google with, I think it was Bard, and I think they fixed that. They figured that out, and now this is really cool. I think people are looking at the Veo 3 and saying this is really amazing. So I think people are going to be willing to pay some money up front for that, especially maybe some smaller companies that are just trying to get in on the sidelines to see what AI can do for them.
Let's talk about ARM as well. This is another company. The stock is up over 55% since its April lows, but up just about 4% year to date. Talk to me about how you're thinking about the path forward for a name like ARM.
Yeah, they want to be in there. They want to be a competitor with Nvidia, but they also have a lot of other parts that are really crucial to these data center build out too. So yeah, I think it's just another part to the chip play. If Nvidia is crushing it, if Nvidia is selling as much as they can possibly make, ARM is going to do quite well with this too. So it's something to watch too. And now, if they're on the other side, if there's just a slowdown in demand, if they're not selling as much as thought, ARM of course will get hit just as hard.
Just lastly, as you kind of evaluate what's taking place on the geopolitical front and how this can also have a major impact on the early success and the long-term kind of run for all of the investments that are coming from different parts of the world as well, and strategic partnerships that are coming about there. Is there one specific region where you're seeing, or a combination of regions that are going to be key to the AI trade panning out to the same type of shareholder returns that we've seen over the past 2 years?
Like domestically region, or are you talking about
internationally?
Yeah, so I mean, it seems like a lot of these parts are coming from different all over the world. We know China has some very important rare earth metals, which are critical to a lot of the chip making process. So that's an interesting dynamic. They have like the raw materials, we have the finished good, and how do we share that with each other, knowing that we are conflicting in so many other ways. Europe actually has one of the biggest makers of the machines that make the machines. So in ASML, they have like they have an advantage there. So I think it's interesting that it is all connected. We can't really work without each other. But I mean, everyone's gonna get their own share of the pie because everyone has a crucial component of that pie.
Joe, thanks so much for taking the time here pre-market. Appreciate it. We know you'll be watching the earnings later.
Yep. Thank you for having me.